Hey guys, this is Not Lammers of Invoked 101, and today we're going to be taking a look at Vehicroids. And so the reason I made this was for the 1,000 subscriber special video. So I'm going to be just using the footage from that video. This is just a little intro I did for it. But yeah, I like this deck a lot. I think it's really funny. I think it's really fun, especially when you play online and people kind of get dunked on. But yeah, if you want to see more deck profiles like this, consider backing me on Patreon. Just that $1 a month will go to creating even more deck profiles and better content. But also, if you pick a high enough tier, you can enter into polls to see what the next deck profile is going to be and vote on that. You can enter into giveaways for the decks bought through Patreon, or you could even get a mat. A custom Invoked 101 mat like my old one was. So if you want to be part of that, go ahead and back me on Patreon. And if you want to keep up with everything that we're doing here, consider subscribing. So yeah, so this is the deck profile real quick. You guys already know why this deck is here. So we're going to talk about the monsters, we're going to talk about the spells, and then I will actually have to re-record the deck profile for the people so that way I can just upload it separately. But real quick, we're just going to do the monster lineup, which is 3 Submarineroid. This guy's really important, especially with the field spell. Submarineroid is, he allows you to attack directly and then turn himself to defense mode at the end. So, like after he attacks, no matter what. And with Vehicroid City, you can attack directly for 1800, so that's pretty nice. Along with him, we have a kind of garbage card, but we have 3 Mixeroid. So what Mixeroid does is you can target another machine, you can contribute another machine you control and special summon a Roid from your deck. Then if he's in your graveyard, you can pay half your life points, banish any amount of Roids from your graveyard, and then special summon a Roid fusion monster whose level equals the amount banished. And it's just, he's not great. But I play 3 of them because he's able to tutor out any Roid from the deck, so. Next up, we have our machine dupe target. So we play 3 decoy Roid for a soft lock where your opponent actually can't attack anything. And yeah, so because you machine dupe them and then you have 3 decoy Roids on field. And then another machine dupe target, but also just like kind of a Mixeroid target, is 3 Expressroid. What Expressroid does is whenever it's summoned, you get a target, you get to just scoop out 2 Roid monsters from your graveyard. It's not up to 2, it is 2, so, which is kind of garbage. That's it for our 3 of Roids. For 2 ofs, which I think we only play 2, 2 Drillroid and 2 Steamroid. It's not because I only have 2 of each of these. I do actually have a full playset of all these Roids, but I felt that playing the dupe targets over the fusion materials was better, and I liked playing the 3 Submarineroids. So that meant some of the better Roids actually had to be cut down. I do think Steamroid is actually one of the better Roid cards. So that's it for the Vehicroid part of this deck. It's not like one of those decks where it's like, oh, it's a Vehicroid deck, but it only plays 5 Vehicroid monsters and the rest is hand traps and stuff like that. No, this deck is actual trash. When I build a deck, it's themed to it. But we're playing 2 gold, 2 silver, because this is a really cool thing. If you open a gadget and Mixer instantly gets you out another Roid from the deck, which usually is going to be this guy right here. Attack directly, turn it to defense mode, pass turn. So, you know, there you go. And then I also play 2 King of the Swamp. King of the Swamp doesn't do a lot in this deck. He's here to search polymerization because you actually can't use him to make Jumbo Drill. So, yeah, you can use him to make like Steam Gyroid, but I cut Steam Gyroid for my extra because it just wasn't worth playing. So if you want to put Steam Gyroid in your extra, go ahead. That's it for the monsters. I actually like this. I like this amount of monsters. I like these ratios. Talking spells. 3 Vehicroid City. So Vehicroid City is a Dragonic diagram. You can destroy one other card you control to add any Roid monster, any Roid card from your deck to your hand. And then when a Roid monster battles, you can send one other Roid from your deck to the graveyard to swap the original attack and defense of that Roid, which makes it super nice for cards like this, cards like Mixeroid, and so Mixeroid becomes a level 4 2200 beater, and then cards like Mobile Base, who become a 5k monster. So stuff like that is really cool. I actually have some replays of this deck I'm going to put up at some point. 2 Terraforming to Search the Megaroid, because this field spell does help you a lot. And then for our fusion cards, because this is a very fusion-based deck, 1 Vehicroid Connection Zone. So what this does is it can only summon Vehicroid fusion monsters, which means that like Stealth Union, Jumbo Drill, Mobile Base, I think that's it. But the monster it fusion summons, it can't be destroyed by card effects, it can't be targeted by card effects, and it can't have its effects negated. So, you know, very nice. Then we got 2 Polymerization for our regular fusion spell and to search. 2 Power Bond to fuse into stuff and buff it, usually pair Vehicroid. And lastly, 2 Instant Fusion to cheese out our Super Vehicroid Mobile Base, because Mobile Base needs a Roid fusion monster, so you just special summon pair Vehicroid and fuse it with something else. That's it for that stuff. And then real quick, our extra spell cards are 2 Machine Dupe and 1 Monster Reborn. So that's it for the spells. For traps, we're running 3 Supercharge. So what Supercharge does is whenever your opponent declares an attack while the only monsters you control are face-up Roids, you get to draw 2 cards. So it's the draw power of the deck. And then we're running 3 Emergeroid Call. So this card is actually like insane if it was for any other deck. But even in Roids, this card is pretty nuts. So this is a counter trap, and it's probably the best card Roids have. So it's a counter trap that says when your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, while you control a Roid fusion monster, negate the activation and then send all cards with the same name as that card from the activating player's deck and extra deck to the graveyard. You can banish this card from the graveyard, then target a Roid monster in GY, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of a Emergeroid Call once per turn. So if you have 3 of these set, you can just negate 3 things. The real thing they don't want you to do is pick up your Roids. So, but yeah, if you plan on playing Vehicroids in any capacity, you play 3 of these because it's nuts. That's it for the main deck. I believe it's 43 cards, 45 cards, something like that. Let me just fix up my spells, because we've got to make that thumbnail pretty. All right, boom. Boom. And lastly, for the extra deck, I only have a 7-card extra deck, but you can put realistically like the Nightmares in here, because it doesn't have link monsters, but you can put some stuff in here, and I'll actually talk about what I used to play. So for our small stuff and our instant fusion target, we're playing 3 Vehicroid. You can make this guy a lot. He's actually the fusion monster you probably go into the most, so there is no reason you should be playing less than 3. Definitely play all 3 Vehicroids. And then I'm playing 2 Jumbo Drill. I like playing 2 Jumbo Drill. You can make him twice, so I play 2. It's just a nice card to have. If you can make 2, you make 2, especially power bonding into a 6k piercer. And then lastly, we have 2 Mobile Base. So like I said, what you can do with this is you can get instant fusion, summon this. If you have a poly, or even like if you have a Roid in hand, if you have like a Roid, a card to destroy, and then Megaroid City and instant fusion, but realistically all you need is 3 cards. You just need a Roid monster, instant fusion, and then like a way to get to a fusion spell. That's all you need, and you can make this guy. What this guy does is super nutty. So what he can do is, I actually don't remember. You can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, special summon a Roid monster from your deck or extra deck with attack less than or equal to that monster. So what's really nice about him is, so first of all, getting a card out of your deck, and then you can only use that effect once per turn. And then once per turn during the end phase, you can target a Roid monster in your main monster zone. Other than this card, return that monster you control to the hand. And if you do, move this card to that monster's zone. So what you can do is you can pop out a monster from the deck during the end phase, pop him into the back into the main monster zone. If you use Vehicroid connection zone, almost nothing is getting over this thing because it has 5k defense, and then it can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, so it's just going to sit there and protect you forever. And then during your opponent's turn, you can target their biggest monster if you want, and then summon Jumbo Drill right there. Turn this to attack position and attack for 5k, 3k. So, there's some plays there. This is definitely the best fusion monster they have, and it is nice that his summoning requirement it's a little bit much, but at the same time it's possible. But that's it for the deck. So anyways, tell me what you guys thought about this deck in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.